Hello everyone, this is Akhilesh Gannavarapu from MMAindia.com, here with someone that every one of you already knows, Mr. Amir Khan. Thank you, Amir, for joining us.
Oh, thank you very much. It's great to be here.
And the first thing I wanted to ask you is, we need to make sure, because since last year there has been rumors, about your next bout, and you're in India now, and with SBL starting tomorrow. What's the reason that you're in India?
So the reason I'm in India is for Super Boxing League. Is a tournament, is a league that I am starting with my partner Bill Dosanjh. Now, this is the second league we are doing in India. The first one was the Super Fight League MMA, which you know about. So what Super Boxing League is about is going to be the same, 8 fighters in each team. Each team has an investor. Each team can pick who he wants in his team, fighters-wise, and it's all about picking the best fighters and giving the best team, finding out who the best team is. There's going to be about 8 teams involved in this all around India, so everyone gets the opportunity. But I just really think that it's a great way of promoting boxing as well, because obviously boxing is a sport that I am in, and I love boxing. So I think it's just great that we are doing something like this, because this is what India needs. India needs boxing. We need to promote boxing in India, and this is a great way of promoting it, because nowadays you have great fighters in India, like for example Vijender Singh, Mary Kom, and so many other fighters. But the thing is, people don't see physical boxing tournaments or leagues or shows on television. This is the first time now we are launching something like this, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Right, now, we will talk about SBL in some time, we'll talk about SFL also in some time. Firstly, we want the fans to know Amir Khan, the person. So when was, and we all know about your credentials as being, as an amateur boxer. When was it that you decided to take up boxing as a full-time gig?
It must have been about when I was like 13 years old. That's when I started boxing when I was 8. So when I was 13, I won my national tournament. I started winning international tournaments as well, and that's when I started to realize that maybe I'm good at this, and I can make a career at this, and then having so many experienced coaches and so many experienced people in boxing saying to me that one day you will become a champion and you could be really well treated if you keep training hard. And to be honest with you, I kept training hard, and now I'm here. Yeah.
Right, and at the age of 17, you won the silver medal, obviously, in 2004 Olympics. That is a massive credential for someone that's still a teenager. So when you did that, how was the adulation, and how did you deal with the added pressure going forward?
I went there with no pressure, well, little pressure really, because I knew that a lot of people didn't expect me to win anything. They thought I was only 17, I was fighting men at the age of 30. So I went there and I thought, you know what, this is a good way for me to shock the world, and that's what I did. I went there and I shocked the world. I lost in the finals by 6 points, which was a very close fight against a double Olympic champion who I later beat after 6 months. But it was just great to be an Olympian and be an unknown fighter. But then as soon as I finished from the Olympics, the whole world knew who Amir Khan was. I mean, the whole UK, I walked the streets, people, like the airport was full of thousands of people who wanted to see me. And it's just great that the UK fans have been so good to me, so loyal to me, and since then I've just kept going up and up and up.
Right, and a couple of years later you became professional. So when you did that, what was the major hurdle that you had to face? Because going from amateur to professional boxing is a completely different world, right? So how did you manage that transition?
The transition was managed by the training. I told to change my whole training in the gym. Professional boxing is a longer rounds, longer minutes, time is longer, and the rounds are longer. So you have to kind of change the training. You have to sometimes pace yourself, slow down a little bit, and work more on strength. And that's what I did, strength and fitness. So it was very hard. It wasn't easy. It was very hard, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I think it was brilliant because it was a new chapter in my life. I won the World Championships, I won the European, I won the Olympics, I won the nationals. So I wanted to challenge myself with something new in my life, and professional boxing was something new.
Right. And by 2011, you were, you caught the attention of the world, so to say, because you were training with Roger Mayweather Senior. You were training with Freddie Roach, who's who of boxing in terms of coaching. So how did that kind of influence who you are, who you became later on?
It helped me a lot, because when you know that you've got the best trainers in the world, like the Mayweathers or the Freddie Roaches out there and the Virgil Hunters, you're doing something right for these people to know to train you and help you and support you, and and have the confidence in training you. I think that on its own is a big thing. So that's when I realized that, wow, I must be just doing something right, because these people are very supportive and want to see me succeed. So it made me only happy, really.
Right, and now, moving forward, your last bout was against Canelo Alvarez, one of the biggest pay-per-views in the history of the sport. There was a lot of hype behind it. So going into the fight, I just wanted to get your thoughts on this, because you're fighting on say the biggest level, in the T-Mobile Arena with the biggest pay-per-view, one of the biggest pay-per-views of all time. So just going into the fight, did it feel like a validation of sorts from where you were to where you were then during the fight?
To be honest with you, it made me realize that, look, I think this is like a fight I've always wanted, a big fight to showcase. I've showcased many fights, but to be the main top of the bill in a super fight, which it was a super fight, was amazing. And obviously, it got me a little bit nervous to show, because I knew that it was such a big event, how I'm gonna just have to stay focused. And then it's up against someone like Canelo, who's a dangerous puncher, who is very dangerous, and I had to go up 2 weight categories as well. So I had everything against me. He's used to the big stage. He's used to being the bigger guy. He's used to having the more power. He's used to, our only advantage I had was the speed and the footwork. So really, I went in there, but for me, it was just a great experience. Honestly, if I could do that again, I would do it again. But for me, it was a great experience, and I loved every bit of it. But look, these are things you're going to talk about all after when my career finishes. These are things I'll always talk about. That one day I was in Vegas. I'll tell my family, I'll tell my kids, I'll tell my daughter that one day your father was top of the bill in Vegas, and he won fights there and also lost fights there. This is boxing. You win, you lose, and it happens in any sport. It's how you come back. So, but it's been great. I mean, my experience at the moment with what I've done, what I've had 36 fights. It's been up and down, but it's been great. I mean, looking back at my career, I've had great fun.
And as you said, it was a super fight. You jumped up 2 weight classes from, welterweight to middleweight. You fought in lightweight as well. So, in hindsight, what do you think of the decision? I mean, what fueled you to jump those weight classes, 2 weight classes, to fight someone like Canelo?
It was just a challenge. It was a big challenge for me. Nobody wanted to fight me. Floyd Mayweather didn't want to fight me. Manny Pacquiao didn't want to fight me. So I needed that big fight. And that's the reason I moved up 2 weight categories, because of weight. Nobody wanted to fight me. So that's the reason I had to move up. And then I moved up. Obviously, it didn't work out for me, but I believe I was winning the fight. But I just obviously got caught with a big shot. But this is because people like Mayweather and Pacquiao didn't want to fight me. That's why I had to move up in 2 weight categories and get someone to fight me.
Right. Now, since you brought up Pacquiao's name, last year we heard these rumors saying one party had agreed, then Bob Arum came in and said Pacquiao's side had agreed. Then towards the end, everything kind of fell through. So what happened at that point?
I think it just shows you, like, Manny Pacquiao's last performance wasn't the best performance. He lost his last fight against an unknown fighter. So I think this is where you kind of see that, does Manny really want to be in the big fights, and is he still got it in him? I hope it has. I mean, look, I'm a fan of Manny Pacquiao. He's a friend of mine as well, but sometimes you have to be real to yourself, and maybe the reason the fight didn't happen is because maybe Bob Arum knew that Manny is getting old now, and he's not going to be in the condition to beat Amir Khan.
Right. Now, since you again brought up Pacquiao and Khan, did you watch the fight? Did you kind of go to analyze?
Highlights, yes, a few highlights and stuff, and it was a fight that was kind of different. But I mean, look, it's one of them fights. I feel bad for Manny Pacquiao. In my opinion, I think he won the fight and didn't get it. So I know they're going through appealing on a few things. So let's see how that goes.
Right. Now, since this is the last question in terms of boxing before we jump into SFL and MMA, we have another super fight coming up between Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. The clash of 2 worlds, as I said, MMA and boxing. So, do you have any insights or perspectives about that?
I think it's going to be a brilliant fight, because it's bringing 2 sports together, 2 sports which are at the highest. MMA is doing amazing. UFC is probably one of the biggest sports, and I just think that now having a boxing fight and having an MMA star versus a boxing star in Mayweather would be amazing. I think Mayweather will be an easy fight for Mayweather. Mayweather has boxed all his life. If it was an MMA fight, I'd give it Conor McGregor, but because it's a boxing fight, Mayweather all day long, it's going to be a nice easy fight for him, nice easy win for him. But I just think it's going to be good for the sports, combining 2 sports together, making them even bigger than they are.
So does it kind of underline the growing popularity of MMA because you have someone like Conor McGregor who a couple of years ago no one knew. Floyd Mayweather has been there for 10 years, 15 years. So does it kind of underline the growth of MMA as a sport in the world?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it shows how quick the sport is growing, and that's the reason I got into MMA myself with the Super Fight League, because I know how quick the sport is growing. And already, I mean, I've only had one season in India and already we've blown up here. So I just think that MMA is a sport that everybody loves to watch, and you know, it's one of them entertaining sports.
Right, now talking about SFL, I was there with Bill Dosanjh the last time around to cover the first edition of Super Fight League as well. So what made you jump into MMA? Was it something that you wanted to do because you were fascinated by the sport?
Yeah, I mean, look, I like the sport. I think it's an entertaining sport, and I know Bill for a long, long time, and Bill Dosanjh said to me, look, I'm doing an MMA league concept. So I sat down, I spoke to him about it. We went through everything, and it made sense for me to be involved in this, because I really believe that MMA is a fast-growing sport, and one day, you know, I mean, so many people love the sport, so many people want to be involved in the sport. So I thought, why not get involved in it myself as well? You know what I mean? Because I think it's going to be being in a combat sport myself. I think it just makes sense. So that's the reason I got involved in it, because I like MMA as well. That's one of the reasons I got involved in it. And so me and Bill decided to start a team concept, have the league concept, and since then it's been going up and up, and I'm glad to be part of it. Yeah.
Right, now tomorrow it's the start of the SBL. It has teamed up with PBOI and WBC, as you previously mentioned as well. So what is your vision for SBL going forward?
SBL by going forward is only going to promote boxing in India, definitely. I mean, there's so many fighters who want to fight and who want to box, but they don't have no direction or they have no like you know, ambition where they want to get to. They have no directions. So now SBL is going to only promote boxing. By promoting boxing, it's going to improve boxing in India, and we're going to create hopefully more champions. People like Virginia, people like Mary Com, you know, people are going to watch them and then say we can box as well. Boxing is open to anybody. So this only gives boxing a push. It only builds boxing up in India, and also we will see more talent in boxing in this.
Right. Now, boxing has been prevalent in the European countries since 18th century, since early 19th century. In India, it has been there, but still, with Vijayendra Singh, as you said, with Mary Com, it's only been a decade or so since it has been really popular. How many years do you think, realistically, just looking forward, how many years do you think the sport needs to grow in India?
I think within 2 years, I really believe that it can be up there and grow fast. So 2 years I give it. Boxing is a sport that's been going on for years and years, hundreds of years. So I think that this is a time now where we start growing it in India. I mean, in Pakistan, boxing is huge now. I've got academies there. Maybe we do the same thing here as well in the future.
Right. One final question. In India, as you said, you know, you have a lot of fans as well. But the biggest hurdle right now is going from amateur level to the professional level. So what is your advice for such fighters? Because we have seen only Vijayendra Singh really prosper at that level.
Yeah, definitely. So what we are doing now, we are opening a promotion company. So we have the Super Boxing League. From there we will take boxers into the professional rankings. But at the moment we are just waiting, we are just holding up. We have a great relationship with WBC, who are also a supporter and are helping us to get through this Super Boxing League concept. There's still time for professional boxing. We don't want to rush into it just yet. Amateur is where we want to start first. SBL is something where we're going to start first, and from there we're going to take it to bigger level, professional level, and hopefully then start creating champions. India has not had a world boxing champion. Pakistan has, India hasn't. So let's help India get one. I think it'll be amazing.
Right, fantastic. I need to put you on the spot right now. Right? Do you think Conor McGregor, because this is a lot of what pundits have to say, they say Conor has a puncher's chance. Do you realistically see that being the case?
No, not at all. I mean, look, I just don't think Conor McGregor is going to even hit Mayweather. Mayweather has a good IQ. He doesn't like to get hit much. He moves well, and Conor is not a boxer that's been boxing for years and years. He's just coming to boxing for his first professional fight. I don't think he's got a chance against Mayweather. This is going to be a fight that's going to be very one-sided. Mayweather is going to box him and move, and even if we hit Mayweather, Mayweather's been hit by bigger guys like Canelo, there's Canelo, there's Cotto, there's some big guys. Mayweather's been hit by Shane Mosley, and these guys hit harder than Conor McGregor, in my opinion. Now, Conor's knocking guys out with small gloves. With boxing gloves, it's a little bit different. So look, I don't know, I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think it's going to be one-sided. This fight, Mayweather's going to do a boxing lesson, give him a boxing lesson, and this is a fight between MMA and boxing. Which sport is the one that's going to go up?
And that's something what SBL is going to do now, because you have MMA fighters also kind of getting into boxing.
No, 100%. There we are. We've got a lot of the SFL fighters who want to go into SBL, Super Boxing League. Now, this is a fight between me and my partner, Bill Dosanjh. I said to Bill, I think the boxing league is going to succeed better. He said to me, no, I think SFL is going to succeed because he has seen how busy the pay-per-view, the TV numbers have been great on SFL. Everything's been amazing. The celebrity status and everything, having them there. But I really believe that SBL, in my opinion, is going to be bigger than SFL. But this is a fight between me and Bill Dosanjh. This is to see which support is better, because he's more on the SFL, I'm more on the SBL. So let's see. But at the end of the day, we're like brothers. But when it comes to business, we have to see this as business. And I'm going to push the SBL, he's going to push the SFL, and let's see how it all goes. But what I like about it is that fighters from both fighting backgrounds are going to join. Some are going to join SBL, some are going to join SFL, see what they like. And at the same time, there's also going to be other fighters who are coming up who we're going to start picking. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this weekend coming up.
Have you heard of any Indian talent that Bill might have brought up?
I've heard of, I've seen, I'm more familiar with faces than the names, but there's some good Indian boxers. Honestly, there's some good talent here. I've seen some good fighters, and I've been very impressed by them as well. I've got a friend of mine called Amjad Khan who has an academy in Delhi. His academy is doing so well, so many great fighters. I've got another young kid who's an amateur boxer called Gaurav. Very good fighter, very good friend of mine as well. These are young fighters who are training hard, and also Amjad is training these young fighters as well. So Gaurav's a good friend, Amjad is a good friend. These people are promoting the boxing in India, in Delhi area. So I just wish them all the very best. And there's some good talent out there in India, but like I said, this is where now they need to come out, and they need to come out to us and reach out to the SBL league so we can help and promote them and take them further in life.
Okay, one final question, again putting you on the spot. When's your next bout?
My next fight is going to be either October, November, and hopefully we can announce something very big. Something that I think is going to be a shock to a lot of people, but at the same time, a lot of people are going to be like impressed and happy, and they're going to be like, this is what we want to see. It's all about what people want. I mean, we are prize fighters, and we are fighters that fight for our people, our fans. The fans are going to be happy with this fight regardless.
Does it have anything to do with Pacquiao?
No.
Any hint as such?
I'm going to end up getting in trouble soon, so I can't say nothing, but I have to keep it very confidential. But to be honest with you, like I say, everyone's going to be, it's a big name, and it's a tough fight. That's the only clue I can give you.
Alright, fantastic.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Amir. It's been a pleasure.